Hi, I'm Bloodied Porcelain, and I'm playing Lady Nienna, the Ancient Sorceress.
Hey there, I'm Grizz, and I'll be playing Fenix, the werewolf craftsman.
Hey, I am Legacy, and I will be playing Brynnhilder, your Witcher.
Hi, I'm Overthinker, and I'll be playing the Angshi Man-at-Arms.
Hi there, I'm Siegryn, the Dwarven... I'm Stabbykinz. I'll be playing as Siegryn, the Dwarven Merchant.
Oh my god, Siegryn is here, you guys.
Dope.
Very well done. And I am Solomon, and I will be everyone else, but mostly people plotting the demise of our friends here.
Mm-hmm.
When we
Charming.
last left off, our professionals had come together after taking control over the city of Machina after Nienna had been raised to a lady status by the Emperor Emir Var Emrys. They had come together on what seemed to be a fairly normal day as people were beginning to go at each other's throats, to be losing their temper a lot more. A cursory investigation showed that this was likely the result of some kind of curse or proximity to a curse. It seemed to coincide with dreams that had begun to plague our Witcher. Nightmares of time with Egil that would take a horrid turn, and dreams of a shabby, small house that the gifted children, under the tutelage of Siegryn and Nienna, had all begun to have as well. A cursory route around the walls of the keep had showed that a bar guest, or a number of bar guests, had begun to encircle the keep. One attacked Brynnhilder and Fenix and was put down quite swiftly. The rest seemed to make their retreat, but who knows when they may return. We ended last session with the realization of Nienna that Brynnhilder's shadow had taken a jagged and inhuman appearance. It was not her shadow anymore. We return later that evening with the professionals. What have the professionals done? Have they decided to stick together to perhaps figure out what is going on, or have they retired for the evening to their various positions?
Did Nienna tell us about the shadow? In the moment?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. She probably would have. She's accustomed to everybody working together, so I think once the initial shock kind of wore off, she'd have sat Brynnhilder and everyone else down and explained what she had picked up on, and she'd be promising that she's gonna do what she can to start figuring out what this is and how to handle it. I don't know that there would be a ton we could do that night, though.
Irileth whips out a silver dagger and throws it at Brynnhilder's shadow.
The silver dagger hits into the wall where the shadow is and just thunks there. The shadow does not seem to react at all.
Please don't whip a dagger at a candle. That is going to cause a house fire.
I'm sorry, we were talking about demons, retrieves dagger, and then a shadow's weird, and they're both on you.
They're both on a candle. Yes. I mean, if it's a I don't think we should aggro it right now when we don't have a solid plan of how to take care of it or what we can do to take care of it, and you're whipping a dagger at it could have just as easily angered it, and none of us are well versed in fighting demons. Outsmarting them, sort of. Fighting them, absolutely not.
I know we've talked about this a little bit, that killing monsters is more complicated than killing the monster, that there's like a learning process and what kind of monster and then specialty shit. Okay. I thought monster, kill monster, solve problem, puts knife away.
Brynnhilder,
Mm-hmm.
could you please give me a roll of Witcher training to see if maybe you can figure out what exactly this is? Because now that you have a little bit more information about it and you know that it is attached to your shadow, you might be able to figure out a little bit more about what the exact nature of it.
Sure thing.
Mine at 20 last week identified that it was at least a demon, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Irileth also leans over to Fenix. Is like, I wasn't totally off with that, right? Monster in room, hit monster.
No, that's usually what it comes down to. You just gotta make sure to hit it with the right thing. But they are right. They are right, though. Don't hit something that we don't know how it's gonna react first. Just be ready to hit it.
Yeah.
This is a waiting game, Irileth. Unfortunately.
And 11.
As a reminder, you can spend 2 luck points to re-roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to, because that's less than an 11.
Yeah. I'm gonna spend the 2 luck points to reroll that. $29.
It's a little different.
Better.
This is a creature that is exceptionally rare. It is, in some cases, classified as being a form of specter, but you do know that it is, in fact, truly a demon. It is a being called a Heim. They reside within the outer spheres and come to the mortal world to feed on negative emotions, largely guilt, and latch onto individuals in order to do so. They torment them, showing them hallucinations when they're awake, nightmares while they sleep, and they can even cause their hosts with enough time to basically collapse in on themselves, to become recluses and almost solipsists, just surrounded by whatever is haunting them until they end up taking their own life.
Yeah, she goes into that full explanation the entire time. Now that we're all made aware of it being here, when I look back, do I see it?
As you look back, you do see your shadow, and it does have that odd shape to it.
Yeah. So basically, it's using me as an emotion buffet.
But now that we know what it is, surely there must be a way of getting rid of it that you might know.
With a critical 29, do I know how to get rid of it?
With the critical 29, there are generally 2 ways to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of them are easy.
Yeah.
The easiest, well, what is seen as the less dangerous way to do it is to find a way to trick it.
Mm-hmm.
To make it latch onto someone who believes they have guilt but actually doesn't. To basically have it attached to someone that and try to feed where there is nothing there, and it basically realizes that it is starving itself and leaves. The other way is, of course, the Witcher's way, to keep them in a room that you've illuminated and work to soothe the person that it is focusing on, usually at the source of their guilt or a source of their guilt, and you basically try to starve it until it actually shows itself and attacks physically.
Yeah, so we can either trick it to latch on to somebody who has no guilt, or we can do it my way, which is lock me and it in a room. I try to soothe whatever it's festering off of, and then when it inevitably gets pissed off enough at me, it'll try to physically attack me, in which I kill it.
Do you even know what it's feeding off of?
You killed her master 3 months ago.
Ah.
Sorry, Bryn, but there's no way it's not feeding off of that.
But in the life of a witcher, which is long, there's a number of things you could be feeling guilty about. I'm not saying that that's the wrong answer, but I'm saying that even if we manage to bypass that, do we know if there aren't dozens of other things it could turn to feed off of?
I mean, I'm well into my 100s. It could be that. It could be I felt a little bad that I stepped on a rat by mistake. Like a week ago. But it is very likely that it is. Yeah.
What about the kids? All the special kids, they've been dreaming of a house and a girl. Are we still going looking for a girl?
I think the girl is Brynnhilder. Just a representation of her.
Well, in that case, Brynnhilder, have you been experiencing any dreams that you think might be related to this demon feasting on you?
Nienna kind of gives Brynnhilder a meaningful look. That might not be a topic that's worth discussing just this moment.
He looks very, very uncomfortable. She almost like shrinks, grabs onto her arm, and you see like the tips of her gloves, like almost like she's like trying to like dig into her own skin, but because they're covered by her gloves, it just kind of looks a little silly.
Right. Sorry. That's...
I'm not.
No. Please, Brynnhilder. You are completely fine. Your discomfort is entirely valid, and I won't push you any further on that subject. In fact, why don't I set about making some tea for us real quick? Might not defeat the demon in one fell swoop, but I feel like it might do a bit of good for us right about now.
Feel free to help yourself to whatever you can find in the kitchen, Siegryn.
Right, I shall be right back. She will go ahead and set off to go make some lovely chamomile.
Give me a crafting check.
Oh no.
Oh no.
God. Phoenix, like...
Where is crafting?
Phoenix winces, like, oh no.
It's a whole stat.
The stat is craft. The actual crafting is a skill under the stat, kind of like on your skill list. You might have it collapsed.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
I believe in you.
16. Not too bad.
There you
Not
go.
bad at all. Yeah, you go and you make some decent tea. It probably wouldn't hold up in any like really fancy establishment, but this is the keep. These are your friends. It's fine. I'd like a roll from Brynnhilder and Nienna, please.
Okay.
I'd like a roll of awareness.
Oh, okay. Is this general awareness or like magical awareness?
I'll allow magical awareness if you think that might be better.
I know that would be better because my awareness is 2, but magical training is considerably higher.
There you go.
Well, it doesn't help if I roll a 2. I'm going to spend 2 luck points because that's awful.
I rolled a 23.
I noticed. Well done.
Nah.
21.
And a 21. So, as you are waiting for your tea and thinking about the fact that you now have to deal with a very powerful demonic entity, you notice something. Specifically, Brynnhilder notices it first, and then Nienna feels that same sort of energy that she got coming from Brynnhilder. And it's coming from herself.
Nienna's going to turn and look at her own shadow?
It's not your shadow anymore.
Nienna curses at length under her breath.
Right.
Do you not want chamomile?
Nienna.
Yes, dear.
Can I just insight check to know what she's seeing? Or I guess she turned around and started swearing.
Yeah, and then you look where her eyes are, and then you can begin swearing immediately if you'd like.
Are we sure killing it now isn't an option? Are we really sure?
Are you able to...
I'd like to try something real stupid, GM.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Irileth has gotten up and goes over. So I'm standing next to you whenever you do it.
That's fine. You won't notice that it's happening unless it goes poorly. Can I use telepathy on my shadow?
Ooh. Yeah.
That's the sound you want out of a game master.
You intrigued me. Tell me more.
Go ahead.
All it says is it allows you to communicate telepathy with one subject for the duration of the spell, and it crosses language barriers. It does not say that the subject has to have its own body.
True enough. Go. Is this a spell you roll for? Or is this an automatic sort of thing? I believe if it's an actual spell, you will still have to roll magic casting to see that you don't.
It doesn't say. It just has a stamina cost.
Just go ahead and roll spell casting just to make sure that we don't have a magical miscast here.
Okay. Is this a basic roll?
This will just be a basic spell casting roll. Yes.
Okay, and my focus, my amulet gives me a +2. Yes.
Yes, this your amulet will give you a bonus to this roll.
$25.
You reach your mind out into this being that has taken your shadow. And you hear first a very familiar voice. Nienna, I did this for you. Why have you abandoned me? It is the voice of Isilgar.
Yeah, I picked up on that. Nienna's hand instinctively reaches over and grips Irileth. But otherwise she doesn't move. She is going to respond to the voice with remove yourself from me now, or I will rip your existence to shreds.
You hear a very familiar, haunting laugh that you heard in your nightmare. But it is an echo of it. It's not the true source, just a sort of mimicry of it.
Like Gunter Dim's laugh?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Do I think that Dispel would help me at all to get this thing to dislodge itself?
You can make an attempt.
Try. Why not? This is something other people would see. Nienna starts lifting her hands and moving them in that way that she does when she's casting something.
I don't
Irileth's
recommend it.
Irileth's got her hand, or like releases her hand, but puts hands on her shoulders and stands behind her. Because sometimes when you do that, fire comes out.
That's fair.
Actually, yeah.
26.
I don't recommend.
You attempt to force this being away, to dispel its hold on you, to remove whatever talons it has gripped into your mind. And you feel the energy flow outwards and then into the shadow, and you almost feel it pull more. I would like you to please reduce your stamina by 5. Not max stamina, it just took extra stamina from you.
Right, the casting cost me 5.
The casting cost you 5, and then it took another 5.
Okay, so I have to reduce it by 10 total. All right, cool. That's fine. It's a good thing I've got a big stamina pool.
Indeed.
Huge, massive.
Unfortunately,
It's almost like I maxed that out.
Don't I know it?
Heyo. Anyway. Unfortunately, it seems like it just continues to stay there, flickering in the light, defiant of your work against it.
So remember when I told you that there's only 2 ways to get this thing out? Listen to your witcher.
All right, everyone, I'm back with that chamomile. Why does everyone look so tense?
There's
When
2 of
don't we
them.
look tense?
Irileth leans his head on Nienna's and says, I'm really glad we both tried to hit it.
Nienna doesn't laugh. She just sort of leans her head back against his and kind of draws a deep breath. Sounds like both of them. Nienna's gonna peer around. She's gonna take long stock of everybody else's shadows to see if it's just her and Bryn or if it's everybody.
Magical training, please.
Okay. Any bonuses now that I know what I'm looking for?
I'll give you a +5.
Excellent. 24.
Drinks team.
I'm rolling like shit tonight, guys. I don't think I've rolled above a 10 on anything yet.
Which is pretty impressive for a D10 system.
Mm-hmm.
You look around, taking in the shadows within this room. You see that your own and Brynnhilder's are changed, taken. You look to Siegryn, who just returned. Her shadow seems fine.
Yeah, Sig. There's 2 of them.
You look to Fenix, whose tall shadow stretches across the room, and he seems fine.
High ceilings, baby.
Irileth's shadow is not fine. It is also a Heim.
Nienna is going to take and squeeze both of your left hands. Don't panic. But there's 3.
Okay. Looks over at Siegryn. What did you do?
She'll shake her head and put her fingers on his jaw and turn him to look at her.
I just made chamomile. She looks a little distraught. And now they're multiplying.
It's not you, Siegryn.
It's your chamomile's fault. I'm joking.
No, you got the good kind on the top shelf, right?
You know I can't reach that high.
Reach it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've
look
been
at
telling
her
them to get a
shadow.
step ladder. Fucking assholes running around this place. I've been telling them to get a ladder. And
Focus, please.
No,
Right.
Sorry, Nienna, but I am actually trying to. I apologize, but there are 2 ways to do it, right?
Yes.
Make a grief, or get everyone to just start going through their own bullshit.
Are we about to have a group therapy session?
Absolutely not.
So, looks over at Fenix.
The 3 longest lived people in this room are the ones with Heims attached to them, and she will look back at Irileth as she says it. All 3 of us have likely entirely too many negative experiences to try to therapize our way out of this. We're going to have to figure out how to detach them and fight them properly.
I'm sorry. Hang on. Takes a step back. I have one?
Yes, darling.
Turns around, looks at his shadow. What? What are you eating? I don't feel bad about any of it. Turns back to the group. What?
Maybe it's a subconscious thing.
Huh.
Well, I imagine it's only a matter of time before all of us have one.
Okay. Whoa. Weird.
I'm not talking group therapy, by the way. That was a bit of a stretch, but
Okay.
focusing on the positive wouldn't be a bad start.
Right. Focus on the positive. Brynnhilder, you said these things were pretty rare.
Yeah.
It can't be a coincidence that all 3 of us have them. Like, maybe we're a little important, maybe we're a little connected to something, but no way in hell we're in the top 10,000 saddest people on the continent. If these things just feed on guilt, they can get better meals. So why us?
I'm just gonna look at my shadow.
Awareness check, please.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it could be a number of things.
Oh, 2? God, me too? No way. 19. Probably don't see it.
We all spend a lot of time around each other. It could possibly be spreading by proxy. If they find even the tingiest bit of guilt, maybe jealousy, whatever it is, they could latch on to that.
So it's negative feelings in general, not just guilt.
Not just guilt. It clings and feasts on negative emotion. Guilt, jealousy, greed.
Is it one hind targeting all three of us? Or do we have our own?
I think it's going to be multiple, because one can only connect to one. It's a 1-to-1 ratio.
I got a 19.
Alrighty. Fenix looks at his own shadow as you all are speaking. And it looks normal until suddenly where the eyes are, there is a yellow flash. And then it begins to extend and become jagged like the others.
Is there like a couch in this room? Or like a nice seat?
There, I would think that Nienna has probably got some decent seating for you two.
I mean, it is a castle, yeah. There's nice stuff.
Cool. Yeah, he's just gonna go sit in like the nicest chair and just recline. Like, all right, I've got one too.
Yep.
Dear, oh dear. I hope I don't get one. I don't have enough time for demons infesting my shadows. I already got enough to deal with the children.
Siegryn.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Hot demons in your area.
Yes, glorious GM.
Awareness check, please.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. My worst skill.
All right. As Siegryn is talking about how she doesn't have time to deal with this kind of thing, you all just like look at her shadow and you just see a jagged smile form across it in the light, and it begins to extend and crack and become jagged as well.
I feel
Feels
like you
behind
choose
her at the shadow. Oh well, of course it's taller than I am.
I think that's what it's feeding off of. Not your negative emotion, just your height restraints. Again, joke.
Out of curiosity, GM,
Yes.
does that feeling that I keep getting, like, am I getting that off of everybody else, or are we just seeing their shadows?
With the last roll of magical training you made, you feel this sort of intense cold coming off of everyone else, but what you notice is that it's just sort of like forming and like emanating out of them as they go on and as the actual change happens. It doesn't seem to be coming like across everyone. It doesn't seem to be like almost transmitting from each one to the next. It's not like actually
Almost like it's collecting on them, like if you stand in a place that's humid for too long, like the humidity collects on your clothes and your skin.
Yes, but you also notice that while you feel that cold, you also feel a sort of connection, but it is a connection not to each other, but everyone is connected to the cold coming from Brynnhilder, whose is deeper and more biting.
Ah, okay. Okay. Well, there aren't spells to try and cut off something like that. At least not that I have. Okay. Well, I have good and bad news. Good news is, I'm not actually sure the rest of us are sources. I think you are, and she'll point at Brynnhilder, and it's just collecting on us because we're so close to you.
Understood. I will,
Hold on. Before you begin trying to make this your fault, it's not. I just think we might still only be dealing with one. And it is spreading to try and make more than it actually is more.
I think that the reasonable solution to this is I think it might be best if I quarantine myself for a day. Make sure that doesn't gain that power to latch on to all of you any more than it already has.
At least for the night, it might be good for us all to get some distance so that we can rest and collect ourselves in the morning and try and come up with a real plan. I won't let you stay like this. She says kind of fervently as she locks eyes with Brynnhilder. I promise.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're gonna get you fixed up. Can't have our we can't have our toughest fighter battling inner demons if something else goes down. Oh, inner demons, I get it now.
Yeah.
Right, that's the plan. So stand up, walk over, just clap Brynnhilder on the shoulder. No, I got you, sister.
How late in the day is it, Saul?
It's getting towards later evening. You all could probably have dinner and then go to bed.
How? I don't remember. How far away is the lodge that we used last season?
Oh,
I think it was like a hunting lodge.
The outer home that Lord Einar gave to you?
Yes.
It's just outside of town. It would probably take you a few hours to get there, but it's a few hours walk or maybe an hour horse ride.
All right. Nienna is going to go to her desk and is going to scribble out like a note granting Brynnhilder permission to access the property and the home and pull out the key that she has for it. Take this and one of the horses from the stable. I just want to test distance.
Sure.
And come right back in the morning. Promise.
Yes, ma'am. And she is going to take the note and the key. And she'll make way.
And Brynnhilder, help yourself to the master bedroom. It's quite comfortable.
Thank you. And she'll nod. And she'll just walk out of the room, closing the door behind her.
Take care, Brynnhilder. Oh dear, that poor thing.
I could send some guards with her. There's not going to be a lot of staff out there, and alone in a manor with a demon seems like a bad place to be.
A few guards, but tell them to not stay too close to the room that she's in.
All right. Yeah. See y'all at dinner. And Irileth will head off to do that.
Nienna will just kind of sit, and she puts her elbows on her desk and puts her, kind of weaves her fingers together and props her chin on them and looks over at Fenix. Before you say anything, I didn't like sending her away, but this is the only way to be sure.
Nienna, he actually has a grin on his face. I agree with you. It's the only real move that we have, and obviously the four of us can't go with it because it'll just make the situation worse, but...
If our situation gets worse overnight, we know she's not the source, but if it gets better overnight, we know that It's a distance problem. But I can't have her stay in the keep, there's too many people here.
Yeah, I agree. I think my only real concern is matters of the soul at this point. Of course, she's done probably many things in her life that she has grief over, but her master was just 3 months ago.
I'm aware.
How long has she had nightmares?
Since we came back. She doesn't talk about it, but I'm not stupid.
No, there's only so much sword sharpening I can do before I realize that she just wants company. Alright. Siegryn?
Yes?
He was amazing. And I thank you.
It is lovely.
Thank you. I certainly tried my best considering the circumstances.
I think perhaps you should stay in the keep tonight. Let your assistants watch over the children. I don't want you going back until we're sure that this isn't something you can carry back to them.
Right. Makes sense.
You can send a runner to let them know that you won't be back until morning.
I'll be sure to send them as quickly as I can.
Nienna will get up. She'll go and make sure that a servant knows to make sure that there's a room for Siegryn and an extra place set at dinner.
Before you go.
A couple of years.
He'll reach into, he still has his pill pouch out and everything like that. He reaches out and pulls out, 2 silver daggers and hands them to you. I know you're more than capable, but this will just put my own mind at ease with the Bargus running around.
Nienna will take one. Assuming the other one is for Siegryn.
Oh no, I fully equipped Siegryn.
Oh, well then I suppose I will take both.
You still got those knuckles?
I rarely really leave the house without them.
Alright, let's go eat. Cold.
Agreed.
All right. Everyone gets their food, and Brynnhilder makes it to the estate with a few guards and gets fed, and you all retire for the evening.
Mm-hmm. Quick note. I send guys I know personally, and I tell them about the Bargists. There's some phantom dogs. They might be interested in your charge, Brynnhilder. Hit them with silver, and obviously if they show up, group around the Witcher and take her lead.
All right. You all retire for the evening and go to bed. The first thing I would like from everyone is a resist coercion roll.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
What? Oh, what? W-A-T? Oh, what?
Resist coercion is under the will skills.
Any modifiers or anything?
Oh,
It's just a flat for now.
Can the NN guy get a +1 for cuddling?
Actually, I'll give you a -1.
that's ritual crafting. That's my bad. Here we go. Hell yeah! Let's go!
Oh no!
Let's go!
Oh no! Oh, I rolled a 1. That's a -5.
No.
Oh no!
I rolled a 1 and fumbled by 18.
Let's
Y'all, this is not very.
Gamers.
This is not very honky tonk of y'all.
I got a 4 and I got a 1 and fumbled by 6 for a total of 4. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
All right, Saul. Take that little dial that says creepy and turn it up.
I remind you that Irileth is next to Nienna as this happens. Like they're in bed together when this happens.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
We'll start with Brynnhilder because Brynnhilder rolled first. Brynnhilder, you are home. The same small house that you spent several of your beginning years in with your family, your mother, your father, your siblings, your big brother. You are enjoying a nice meal. It's not one you get very often, but it's like actual proper meat because your father actually went hunting and got a buck with, of course, the correct permits. Everyone is at the table laughing, telling stories. Your brother is saying how he's going to teach you how to defend yourself because he wants to make sure that if he moves away, that you'll be safe. And then, just as you are smiling and enjoying it, you are alone in the house. You can hear your mother's voice. I was trying to keep an eye on her. I don't know what happened. And your father is calling your name. Your younger siblings are crying. And you can see that the house is decrepit and cold. But you hear crying that sounds like a little girl, not like your usual siblings' voices when they cry. You remember them. Coming from downstairs. Do you want to go downstairs?
Yeah.
You head down into the larder as your adult self taking control of this. You know this is not just your mind. You are aware. You've steeled yourself to know that this is the Heim's doing. As your younger self ages rapidly, growing into the Witcher. Drawing your silver blade, you head downstairs and you see, much as Thomas described, a little girl in a somewhat raggedy gift, not exactly a dress. It kind of looks more like a bunch of leaves and almost burlap sort of sewn together. And you see the girl with white silvery hair, very similar to your own, but her skin is a pale, almost blue, and she is huddled in the fetal position, crying, and you just hear her whispering, "Come home, come home," and you can feel the Heims around her, reaching out. You can feel the magic given your particular training with the Griffin School. It's like they are using her to throw themselves out, to branch out, utilizing her as a focus. And then, as they have their eyes on her, suddenly they all shift to look up at you with their jagged, horrid grins, the largest time with blood-red eyes that you know is connected specifically to you. And as they lunge at you, you wake up in a horrid, chilled sweat. And now we're going to move on to Siegryn.
Oh boy.
You are back home. You are from Redania, correct?
Yeah.
You're back home within the Redania, at the market square, one where your people thrive, selling objects made either with their own skill or brought from back home. Your parents selling spirits that they've distilled using ancient family secrets. At least that's what they tell the rubes that pay them out through the nose just for some of their spirits. It's happy. The sun is warm. And it's warmer. And then you feel too warm. You feel hot. And you look around and see that there isn't laughter anymore, but screams of horror. As you see men in armor busting into places of business and slaughtering those inside. You see your own family still broken, set ablaze. You see the bodies of your parents strewn before them. And you look up, and with a horrid, jagged form, there is the tall countenance of the elf who perpetrated this, who made this happen, who manipulated the people of Redania against you and yours. You see Isilgir looking down at you as if you don't matter. And before you can scream at him, you awaken screaming. And your stamina is cut in half.
You're right then.
Fenix.
Yeah.
You are at your estate with your family. Your father, your mother, your brothers, some of which who are gifted as you are, and some who aren't. You are out playing with your brothers in your natural form. Doing practices, nothing that would actually cause too severe of wounds, but little marks to learn from. And you are within the forest enjoying the hunt until you hear a crackling fire and rush back to your estate to see your mother fallen, your father trying to reach out and claw at an elven sorceress who is currently making him drown on his own blood. And you see her with this smug, satisfied grin on her face. You try to lunge forward, but you feel cold hands, taloned hands gripping you, pulling you back away from this as she looks to you. A hunt for another time, perhaps. And you wake up with your palms burning as it seems like your form was trying to push the pins out of your hands. That you were trying to shift even though the silver was within your body. And your stamina is cut in half.
We with a little blood. Can't move or roll over because he has the one still in his spine, so he's just gonna trap it.
Indeed. Irileth.
Mm-hmm.
You see your family packing up. They are getting ready to leave because you've heard news that there would be another purge. Your mother is smiling at you, working to keep you calm, collected. Your father is much more stern, much more focused, but realistic, and not trying to just scare you, but to keep you moving.
Absolutely. This is a serious situation, and we have to be direct.
Mm-hmm. You head out of the city, and you're on the road. You don't recognize the road. You just know that it will get you away from that danger. And you hear your mother begin coughing. You see her collapse on the road, kneeling there. And as you go to pick her up, you can feel the weakness in her body. You see the flesh begin to deteriorate from her bones as she looks up to you, trying to give one last smile before she is akin to dust, a sick, skeletal echo of what she was. And you look up and you see that your father is not there. He's nowhere to be found as you are on this road alone at night. What do you do?
I think the trembling hands of a child, maybe a teenager at this point, I cast around trying to figure out something. I'm gonna die here. The things that were supposed to keep me alive are gone, and I'm gonna die here. And he should have stopped it. But he won't. I try to light a fire. I try to make a shelter. I try to survive because it's just me now.
You try, and you try. And you can hear the world almost cruelly laughing at you as darkness comes in, surrounding you, and the fire you've made.
I glare into the darkness. If the world is going to be cruel, then I will be cruel to it as well.
and you see another figure in that darkness. You see a tall elven figure, one that apparently used to bring the woman you loved a lot of joy, but has only recently brought her so intense sorrow. You see the figure of Isilgir.
Oh. I think for a brief moment, there's clarity. And the Irileth, as he is now, that understands a little bit about what's happening, pushes to the surface, past all these raw emotions and this fear and this anger. He says, "Oh, I do regret not killing you."
He just smiles at you. What's stopping you now?
I grin, and there's blood in my teeth.
Do you attack him? You feel the heft of a blade in your hand.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, you lunge at him into the dark, leaving the fire behind for vengeance. Sweet and bloody. And I would like you to note that your stamina is cut in half. And we are going to shift to Nienna.
Uh-huh.
You feel the warmth of sunlight on your face. You are not in a city that you recognize. You know this to be a city that your mentor had business in, but you're here with a friend, as Siegryn is beside you.
I think Nienna would look down at Siegryn. Come on, let's go explore.
Siegryn,
I love her. Oh, go ahead.
Siegryn, you brought Nienna here to introduce her to your family, to your business. Take her to them.
Her hand clasps unusually tight around Nienna's hand, and with almost unusual strength, even for someone like Siegryn, Nienna feels her tugging towards the shops, towards her home, towards the markets.
I'm coming, you don't... Siegryn, you're hurting me.
The warmth of the sun gets hotter, and the sky turns more red as if it is approaching dusk. Rapidly, even. And you hear the crackling of fires, large and intense, and you hear hammers hitting metal, and then you hear wood cracking, and metal hitting metal, metal hitting flesh, as Siegryn brings you to the merchant's quarter, and you bear witness to the beginning of a pogrom.
Nienna's eyes widen, horrified. Why would she...
Look at this, Nienna. Your lover did this. Look at them. Everything I've known. Everything I've known. All my family. You see her expression caught in a storm between rage and absolute shattered spirit as tears spill down her cheek. Eyes wide, almost manic.
I didn't know.
But you should have.
But I wasn't anywhere near here when this happened.
And yet you loved him. You let this happen.
I didn't. I didn't. I couldn't have. I didn't even know this was happening when it. Siegryn, I'm sorry.
And you look up and you see Isildur holding on to his staff behind Siegryn.
Is he just standing there?
At the moment, he looks stern, terse. You should have known better. And then he looks down at Siegryn. What's one more? And he conjures fire in his hand and moves to grasp Sigrun's head.
Nienna throws herself in front of Siegryn. Tries to cover her with her body.
And that is when you wake up and you feel a body against your own. You see the gleam of steel in Irileth's hand. His eyes are open, but they're clouded. As you have just a split second to react to him lunging at you.
Oh god. Okay. Well, Nienna's instinct is always magic, so I think she's gonna reach out to Chaos and try to cast Cadfan's grasp and force him to drop it as it burns like molten, burns like it's molten in his hand. Paying for stamina. Spell casting.
Just to note, your stamina has also been cut in half, so pay for stamina from half of your stamina.
My overall stamina, would my stamina have refilled after the last thing?
It would have, and then it got cut in half.
Okay, now I'm just making sure that I've got the math right, that's all.
Yes.
25 to cast.
Do I roll against this?
Is there a defensive roll against this, Nienna?
Looking, hold on. Trying to do 5 things at once. Cadfan's grasp, name for the magician, and Smith Cadfan of Ebbing allows you to superheat a metal item, making the holder drop the item or take 2d6 damage to the limb holding it. So no, there is no resistance roll.
Irileth, you are still within the state between waking and dreaming as you see Isildur raise his hand and the weapon in your hand goes hot. Do you drop it or do you grip tightly?
A good kill is worth a little pain.
Oh no.
Nienna, if you would please roll me 2d6.
Okay.
That was a very kind and rational thing you just did.
That was a really shitty roll, but 2.
So that is 2 damage done to Irileth. Irileth, I would like you to make me I believe there is a small blades roll.
Yes, there is.
I would like you to make me that. And Nienna, I would like you to tell me how you're going to try to avoid getting stabbed.
Trying to roll out of the way, I guess. I don't really have much else to do that wouldn't like seriously fuck him up or potentially set the whole room on fire, so...
Fair enough. I will allow a reflexes roll with dodge and escape.
Awesome! I have nothing in that. Do I get a bonus because he's EP?
I will give you a +2 bonus, and I will give him a -2 because he is currently gripping something in a hand that is now burning.
All right.
Well, that's a 14, so...
Mechanically, I'm rolling these as brass knuckles because those are the only weapons I have programmed in that count as, like, small. But
Gotcha.
Additional modifier, -2.
Please roll like a 1. Otherwise, I'm fucked. Nope.
A 19 and a 14.
So the 14 will miss. The 19, however, I need 1d6 from you, Irileth.
Oh, fuck me.
It's a solid hit.
You feel the blade sink in. And you see Isilgir still smiling at you until you see the horrified face of Nienna. And you realize where you are. And you realize what you've done.
Are we rolling for location to see where he manages to hit me?
And if you'd like, please. The arm, so that damage is half, so it's only 3.
Oh, okay, cool.
Went for the neck, got the shoulder.
Nienna is, has cried out and is screaming, and there is blood. Well, not screaming, but like sobbing, and there is blood.
Lets go of the knife, sits back up, and just looks confused for a second. What?
I think Nienna having it, because the knife was superheated, she is going to grab it and yank it out of her own skin before it like fuses with the skin.
No, you're supposed to leaving it in. Supposed to. Oh God! Help! Help!
I'm okay. I'm all right.
No, we need a.
I can heal I can heal myself. I'm fine.
Shh. He yells for the guards again.
There is a clambering as guards burst in to the room. Lady Nienna, what? And they have all drawn silver blades because that's what they were told to carry.
Good. Fetch a physician.
I don't need a physician.
Well, we're getting one. I turn to the guard. Go.
And they just salute and immediately run off to fetch the keep's physician.
Oh my God. Oh. Fuck. He's like leaning down, trying to. Quick mechanical thing. Do I have first aid? I bet it's under crafting, in which I have a 1. So no. Oh God, I'm sorry.
Not your fault.
I'm sorry.
Not your fault.
He's backing like across the bed, standing up.
Irileth, I need you to focus. I need you to focus.
Focus.
In my bag on my desk behind you. There's a pouch of herbs. I need them so that I can heal myself.
Color of the pouch, color of the herbs, a particular smell. He goes over.
It's green and it smells like mint.
Mint. Okay, here. walks back over, hands her the herbs, takes 2 steps back.
Nienna is going to use magic healing to try to heal herself up.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah, I would say that's enough for you to go ahead and cast that.
Okay. Well, it doesn't quite take me up to full, but I'm now at 44 out of 45, so it's not bad. My stamina is low as fuck now, but it's fine. She just looks kind of pale and exhausted and lays back with just a little bit of blood coming out of a thin cut on her arm now. I'm all right.
Irileth turns on his heel, almost runs across the room, pulls down a bottle of hard alcohol, empties some into a cup, looks around, walks back to the bed, gives her the cup, and takes a big, long pull from the bottle.
Oh. So who were you trying to kill? I hope it wasn't actually me.
He just sits down. No, it wasn't. I would never.
I know. Who was it?
Siegryn.
That's funny. That's who was
He
trying
looks
to
up
kill.
horrified.
That's who was trying to kill me in my dream.
What was any of this? This is not funny.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
No, you're right though. It should be. But
What
another
else?
long drink.
What else are we going to do in a situation like this but laugh?
He puts his head in his hands for a minute. Come on, think. I would never try to kill you.
I know, but you would try to kill him.
Yeah, but no, what I mean is...
In my dream, he tried to kill Siegryn, and I tried to protect her.
Good. What I'm trying to say is, in the last year, kind of since we met, is the first time in my life I've known anyone who I wouldn't kill. And when I saw him, and I was back there, I felt that again. Like there's no one in the world I wouldn't kill under the right circumstances. And his hands are shaking.
Anna reaches out and takes them. And kisses his knuckles and the tips of his fingers, which are probably bubbled over in some places with blisters.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's my fault. Sorry. Tried to make you drop it before you stabbed me.
Oh yeah. Half measures don't work. If this ever happens again, kill me, or stop me, or bury me and then dig me up.
I was trying to stop you, but I won't kill you. And I'm gonna try to cast again to heal him.
No. He pulls away. No. The physician can deal with this. This is nothing. I can walk around like this.
Those are burns that could impact your ability to fight later.
Seriously.
Fine.
You look really pale. And I don't think we're going to be getting any real sleep anytime soon, so...
Oh god. Brynnhilder. And Nienna, like, pulls herself out of bed, grabs, like, a handkerchief or something from her bedside table and, like, goes to the door and yells for a runner.
You get a runner who actually was already on the way to you because they have something for you. The physician's on the way, my lady, but this seems to be a bad time. And in their arms is a bouquet. These came for you.
From who?
It does. I don't believe it has a name. But there's a poem attached to it.
She will take the letter and the poem. Thank you.
Of course.
I need you to. Unfortunately, this is going to be a long night. Get a horse from the stable and ride to the lodge. I need to know what the status is on Brynnhilder, the Witcher. Vatgun.
At once, my lady. And they just bow deeply and leave. The bouquet is a bouquet of flowers that are lilies, wildflowers, and a singular red rose. The poem is as follows.
Hold on. She will take the bouquet and go back into the room, and she plucks out the thing to read the poem. This is lovely. I didn't expect this, given everything else that's going on. Thank you. And she's obviously talking to Irileth because she assumes it's from him. Now you can continue.
The poem is as follows. She walks in beauty like the night, of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies.
Well, this is beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. What? Walks over, examines the flowers a little bit.
Can I human perception to see if I pick up on the fact that he clearly didn't send these?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Well, that's only a 16. Should probably be a contested roll if he wants to keep it a secret that he didn't send them.
I would say that he can go ahead and roll deceit if he would like to keep it a secret, but he's a little bit distracted at the moment, so he will have a -2. If he wants to roll.
Absolutely.
Okay.
To both.
Yeah. Nienna just assumes they're from him, and that he's just real disoriented.
Yeah.
The night has not treated all of you so kindly. Some better than others, but for the most part, the morning at the keep is dour. The weather is overcast and gray, and everything just feels chill, cold. Brynnhilder has not returned to you yet, but you all are able to, if you wish, reconvene over breakfast.
You don't see Fenix.
Siegryn is likewise absent.
Irileth is moving around, but having finished that whole bottle, he's clearly putting some effort into walking a straight line.
Does luck reset overnight, or does it reset at the end of the session?
I allow it to reset overnight or at the end of a session, so I will say that
I didn't reset mine after last session, so
you'll have
if I can
back to full.
Okay. Well, Nienna goes to breakfast, but looks clearly exhausted. Do I need to make recovery rolls, or can we assume that I am recovering since I'm not doing anything?
I'll say that since you're not doing anything and your own actual wounds are rather minor, then you can recover that lost HP. The stamina, however, will not recover.
That's weird. Why not, Saul? That's what recovery rolls are for when you're a mage.
Reasons.
Let's see. Okay.
Irileth goes looking for whatever rooms Siegryn and Fenix used. Hey, I'm gonna go make sure the other two didn't die in their sleep.
No, of course. Good
That was a joke. Yeah. I'll be right back.
You head over. I'll say that Sigrun's room is closer. So you head over to Sigrun's room.
Pounds on door, winces at burned hand.
Wrong hand.
Sig, you up?
You don't hear a response, but you do hear sloshing coming within the room.
Ah, shit. Try the door.
Appears to be locked.
Sig, I'm gonna count to 5 and then I'm kicking it down.
You're the
1,
captain of the guard. You'd have keys.
2, 3,
Yep, also drunk.
4, 5. And I kick the door down.
4.5.
4 3/4.
Come on, man. Don't make me do this.
Give me a roll of, let's go ahead and call it physique.
Okay. I'm hoping for brawling, but... That's a 13.
The doors in the keep are rather sturdy, and this one defies you.
That's a good door. Well made.
Decent door.
Oh. Hang on. Clang, 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 clink. Pulls the keys.
All right.
Opens the door.
Yeah, you're able to open the door. And Siegryn, what does Irileth find inside?
Oh boy. You might be certain that whatever stock she had left after she hung up her merchant coat might be lying on the floor in various bottles and small kegs. You see the actual dwarf herself currently in a tub a la start of Witcher 3 style, just bubbles almost piled high, nearly touching the ceiling, with her face slathered in some form of charcoal and scrub mixed, while a pair of fruit slices are covering her eyes. She seems to have one of them peeled back slightly and is like barely eyeing you from her current throne of water and bubbles. I'm going to be honest. I was hoping that you breaking down the door would give me some measure of joy. And it did not.
Yeah, it's a good door. Hits the door with the other hand. It's a good door. So, breakfast.
Yes.
Okay. Are you pickling yourself? Or did that happen before? Looks at the bottles.
I don't pretend to remember. She'll take one of the fruit slices and just like absent-mindedly eat it.
All right. I'm gonna check on Fenix. Then we gotta talk. Cause I don't. Judith. Sig, I'm gonna be honest. Gets a little closer. I don't know if this is you had a rough night and saw shit you weren't prepared for, or decided to get drunk and have a spa day.
Can't it be both? Maybe I'm just feeling particularly adventurous.
Okay, so that answers my question. So, yeah, we're going to talk about it when Brynnhilder gets back.
Oh, I do not wish to talk about it, darling. Just leave me to marinate in my salt and bubbles.
All right, okay. But, looks around, grabs a mostly full bottle of brown liquor. This one's coming with me, all right? Is that cool?
I am but a dwarven soup. My opinions don't matter.
All right. Door open or closed? Or you're in the bath. Closed, okay.
I am soup.
Yep.
Render is currently moving over and trying to lick at Sigryn's face, including eating up the other fruit slice on her over her.
No, that was mine, Render. The soup is not for wolves.
And then the door is closed.
I'll go find Fenix. While the soup stews.
I hate that I am too. God damn it. All right. Yeah, Fenix has it is an actual cabin, but it's outside next to the forge.
Mm. Knock, knock, knock. Wince.
Wrong hand.
There is no
Fenix.
response. There's no response.
God damn it. Fenix. Fenix. Fenix, I already tried kicking down Sigryn's door and it didn't work. And I think the guard saw me, and that's embarrassing. Could you let me know you're not dead? Otherwise, I have keys to this place. Otherwise, I might have to climb in a window.
Out of character, you actually haven't tried the door.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, just making sure. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, there's no response.
Come on, man. Now he tries the door.
Yeah, it's not locked.
Oh. Okay.
There you go.
Enters.
Yeah, he's got a simple place. It's mostly like tool benches and stuff like that. All of his tools are hanging up. Bare aprons, like a place for clothes. I would say whatever was his bed is now a mess of padding, blankets, and shredded seats and pillows. And the wood of the frame is completely destroyed, and you see him pretty much just kind of in like torn up pajamas in a circle on the floor, curled up.
Ah, shit. Fenix. Hey. Walks over, pokes his foot from a safe distance.
Nienna.
You, does he look okay?
For
I
a very
glance at the
dark
foot.
for a very dark-skinned fellow, he looks very pale.
Shit.
His eyes are closed, and you can see there's just like, out of one corner of his mouth, there's like a trickle of blood. On the other side, it looks a lot like silver, but tinged with green.
Huh. Looks around. I'm gonna look around for like a broom.
Yeah, there's plenty of like brooms and pails and such.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because I gotta poke you to wake you up, but I'm sure as shit not getting within arm's reach. If I can possibly avoid it. Because, you know, I know what this thing can do. Hey, man. Poke. Poke. Come on, we all had nightmares. Just tell me you're okay. Wake up. There's breakfast. And I've got liquor here.
Yeah, he doesn't move.
God damn it. Fine. Drops broom, takes a little sip, leans down. I'm gonna like try to listen to your breathing.
It's ragged as fuck.
Alright. Not dead then. Okay. I gotta eat something or I'm gonna be drunk all day. If you want, I'll send someone out here with food. When Brynnhilder gets back, I'll send her. Shit, maybe Master Hittori? Alright. Grabs. He's mostly out the door and he pauses. He turns back around. You're really asleep? Okay. Goes over to the wreckage of the bed, pulls out the largest piece of blanket, throws it over him. Okay. Then heads back towards the hall.
Sorry to give you more, but you're clearly drunk. Like, there's not much else I can say to you that, I mean, I'm so happy. I'm so happy you're drunk in this moment.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it was a rough night.
It was.
And as I get back to the Great Hall, I'm like, all right, they're okay. I mean, they're alive. Oh God, bread. Yes, sweet bread. Bread and water. You know, they gave us bread and water in prison and the occasional potato. And some things you just get used to.
I'm glad, I suppose.
Yeah. Anyway, they're alive. Couldn't wake Fenix up.
What do you mean you couldn't wake him up? That man's up with the sun every day.
I mean, I poked him with a stick, and he laid there, curled up in a ball in the middle of the floor. Looks like he shredded his bed.
All right. Stay here. Eat your breakfast. You need it.
I think Brynnhilder's the one to... Yeah, sure, whatever.
Nienna will stand. She will stop and drop a kiss on top of Irileth's head. Eat, drink, water, please. And she'll take the bottle of alcohol that he put on the table as he sat down. No more of this.
What? I was gonna tape her off.
I said no more. That's an order.
Can I call for like a leadership role?
I mean, she literally is the reason why you get paid. She just doesn't normally pull rank.
Yeah, exactly. I want to... Because you're leadershiping not against Irileth as a rational elf and soldier, but as a guy who is drunk.
I will say a leadership role will happen, but I will also say that it will not be a very high DC, given that he is drunk and enamored and all kinds of other various things that make the DC a little bit lower.
Okay. I know it's not for this, but could I use my scheming professional skill bonus?
I would say yes.
Okay. Cool. So that gives me a +3. Wait, hold on. All right, I have to roll a scheming roll at DC equal to my to. What's your intelligence?
Get ready for a big old shocker. 10.
Okay. Well, I didn't beat it. That's fine. That'll just be a base leadership roll then. Damn it. 15. That's not bad.
I'll say
considering I have a +0.
Yeah, I'll say that that's enough. He's not happy about it. He'll grumble, but he'll do it.
He grumbles. Nienna fixes him with a look that says, "Do not argue with me." And when he stops, she walks out of the room and takes the booze with her.
Ties his shirt the rest of the way up.
She hands it off to the first servant she sees. See to it that this is disposed of, and the master of my guard is brought a strong pot of coffee.
At once, my lady.
And she's gonna go find Fenix because in all of the time that she's known that man, he's never not been up at dawn. So it's not normal for him to just stay asleep when someone goes to check on him.
You find where he has been staying. I assume it is in much the same. He hasn't gotten up yet, correct, Fenix?
No, he hasn't moved from that spot.
She is going to walk in, see the mess, and hurry over. Pull the blanket back that Irileth threw over him. Does she see where the pins and everything are and all the damage that they've been doing?
Yeah. Around the area has been like deeply inflamed, and they look like, while they'd normally be set in straight, like they're coming out at jagged angles in his spine and the back of his hand. And he looks really pale and he's burning up.
Hells.
He looks about half dead. To a T.
There's a moment of kind of panic, and then she pulls out that same pouch that Irileth gave her and looks around and gathers what I assume she could find pretty easily in a blacksmith shop. She needs wax, ashes from a fire, and chalk.
Yep.
the herbs she's already got on her. So I'm gonna prep Ritual of Life. And then probably struggle for several minutes to roll this huge man's body into the middle of the ritual circle.
It'll take a little bit of doing, but you can get him over there.
Okay. And I'm gonna craft Ritual. I'm just burning through all of my stamina. I'm not gonna have anything to help later. I think I may. Hold on. I'm so dumb. I'm sorry, guys. One sec. Yeah, okay. $22. So for I think it's 5 rounds. 5 rounds, you get 3 health points at each round. Oh no, wait! It lasts for 10 rounds. It takes 5 rounds to prep. 10 rounds, 3 points per turn or per round.
Damn.
And she looks ever more faint. You wake up and Nienna is pale and sweaty and swaying on her feet. As she has dropped from 45 stamina to 8.
Yeah, he slowly uncurls and he like pops up blood onto the circle and fuck.
Oh good, you're up.
Father.
Nope, sorry. Quite the wrong person for that, actually.
Yeah, he like turns his head. Yeah.
Hi. Had a nightmare, did you?
Yeah, I saw this. Like looking around the room and looks at the back of his hands like, I tried to transform.
Did, from what I can see.
Clutches at his back, but like looks up at you. Oh, hey. I'm sorry.
For
I
what?
don't know what you did, but thank you.
Fine. You're better, that's what matters. I'm going to sit down.
Please. He tries to sit, like, tries to like stand up and like fall to his knees and like clutching at his back. Fuck.
Do you need me to do anything to help with that?
They're not straight. In my spine.
Do you need me to straighten it?
You don't mind.
Of course. Please don't hit me. I've been stabbed once today, that's all I can take.
Who the fuck stabbed you?
Oh, don't worry about it. And she'll kind of reach back and like grab one of the pins and straighten it.
It is not a pleasant feeling, but getting them straighter is fairly easy.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You should get dressed. We have breakfast.
It's blood on the ground. Can't eat.
Good. She'll kind of wave a hand absently. Get dressed.
Thank you.
Brynnhilder should be here anytime.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. I can't hang so bad. Nothing happened. We're all
What?
fine. We're all fine. Nothing happened. It's fine. We're good.
Go get dressed. Irileth is already drunk.
What?
I told you. It's been an interesting morning.
He stabbed you, didn't he?
No, not on purpose. I didn't know it was me.
Take a lot more than that to get him sober. He puts a shirt on and his boots.
As you head back to the dining room, it was about this time that Brynnhilder makes her appearance, looking actually fine.
She's going to pull up on via horseback, feed the horse a couple sugar cubes, and then make her way inside of the castle. Is anybody in? I did I
thought we were getting to the door at the same time you were. That was the.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
thought we were all entering the main hall.
I was not being very clear about that. I apologize. But yeah, you were all getting to the main hall around the same time. Okay. Aside from possibly Siegryn, who may continue to be working to become the best dwarven soup.
Oh, she's very much working on that right now.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Nienna walks it. She is doing her best to look as collected and proud and completely fine and normal physically as possible, but she is very pale. And there's just a light sheen of sweat across her face.
You all look terrible.
Fuck off.
It was a long night.
Did someone attack? You could have sent for me.
No, well, it wasn't the kind of attack that we could have had any forewarning. The runner that came and got you this morning was the soonest one we could send. Wasn't a physical attack. Nienna says as she adjusts the bandage around her forearm.
Are you sure it wasn't a physical attack? Because you have a bandage, and she looks at Fenix and does Fenix look? Is Fenix looking not great to her?
I mean, you've seen him after. You remember way back when he was first trying to get control of his original rage and transformation. He looks like 5 times worse than that. He looks like he was half dead about 5 minutes ago.
And you...
Hey, sis.
What the fuck happened to you?
Well, and he seems like vomit blood onto the floor.
Oh, all right. That's it.
That's why I still feel ill.
You sit.
They'll hurt us then. They'll hurt us then, like just in the end, or lean on you or something. I'll be fine.
I'm not. I leave for one night, and she shakes her head, and she's just gonna pick Nienna up and throw her over her shoulder.
Excuse me.
You need to sit down.
I was headed to my.
No, you are going
the
to
chairs
sit
are
and you
down.
are going to relax.
Why'd you pick her up when the chairs are down?
Because I know her. She won't move unless I move her. She's gonna walk her to a chair.
Nienna will just sigh and sit, and she looks too tired to argue. At once she's finally in the chair. There was outrage on her face, and once she settled, she's just like, "I'm too exhausted to have this conversation."
She'll the moment
What?
that
Call the guards for that?
No, it's fine. It's fine. So tired.
that's it.
Well, now we have the answer to our question. Distance doesn't seem to make a difference once you've picked it up.
Herpes. Monster herpes.
Everything
What?
comes back to herpes with you, doesn't it?
Listen, you work in a whorehouse for 30 years. You see a lot of shit.
Yeah, you
And-
see a lot of women, you get a lot of shit.
I'm actually okay on that point. Medicine is a beautiful thing. But my point is, we all caught it. Now we got it. And it's bad. 1,000-yard stare. It's really bad.
While they're talking, can Nienna like close her eyes and try to like zone out and meditate? She's desperately trying to get stamina back because it is terrifying to her to feel so weak.
While she's meditating, Brynnhilder's just gonna go and like fetch her like a warm drink, and like something small to eat because she's assuming that they have not eaten yet.
Nienna already ate, but
Well, she doesn't know that.
I would like a roll of will from Nienna.
just will.
Just will.
3. Awesome. Well, that's actually a success. I have to roll under 10 to succeed, yeah?
Yes. I will say that you're able to just let your mind wander for a little while. Go ahead and roll me a d6.
Three.
You got 3 stamina back from just letting yourself zone out.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Render will actually slip into the hall where everyone's gathered, and he'll just kind of sit on his haunches and whine a little.
Yep. Looks around, grabs like a placemat, bread, meat, another meat, couple hard-boiled eggs, potato, wraps it up, ties the top, hands it to Render. Is that what you wanted? I was gonna have the servants do it, but
I think he will take that, give a woof, and then just begin to wander back.
or I usually ask Siegryn this. Should we guys, Sig was like, you know when you go to a spring, like a hot spring up in the mountains, and you like get a thing on your face and it makes you feel all clean? You guys ever done that? Just me?
Nienna's meditating, so I don't think she's paying attention to what people are saying, so I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah.
Fenix is slumped against the door frame, clutching his stomach. Seemingly trying to throw up again.
And I think it's about this time that Brynnhilder would come back with some hot coffee and tea and just a little rolls with butter.
She'll set it at the table beside the chair. Then she's gonna look to Fenix and just cross her arms and say, "You too. Eat."
Yeah, I got you.
And you reek of alcohol. Just look to Irileth.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm drinking coffee. See this right here? This is coffee. I'm drinking it.
I know.
And I had some bread before that and some water with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. maybe you hear the shit that happened before you start telling people what's up.
Yeah, when all of you look like shit.
Yeah.
We take care of our people first, and then we ask questions.
Yeah, we were taking care of it.
Were you?
When I go through something crazy, I get hammered, then I sober up, and then I deal with it. Mind you, it's been a minute. But, you know.
Yeah, I don't get drunk, so I don't know how to... I don't know what you mean.
Oh. Maybe that's how this whole thing got started then. You just gotta, you know, sometimes you gotta get drunk, but you don't, so you don't have a way to...
I don't need alcohol to cope with my shit. If anything, alcohol exacerbates your emotional state.
That sounds very technical. But
Just
the thing found you first, right?
Just hear a very distant, no, it doesn't.
Get down here and eat!
No.
I'm gonna send guards up there.
Yeah, before you go and waste people's time, I'll go talk to them.
Thank you. That's you. Oh.
She'll go and...
reaches to belt. Eventually, key. Tosses.
Okay. She's gonna
A really
go
good door. You can't. The door is really strong, so.
I would like to go and approach the door.
Okay.
Do not kick down my fucking door, I swear to God, people.
Oh my God. Please kick down the door.
This is not a dick measuring contest that needs to happen, all right?
And
It
she's just
absolutely
gonna,
is.
and she looks like she's about to kick down the door, but she instead just knocks 3 times. Siegryn, can I come in?
Do you hear like a sudden slosh? Oh, Brynnhilder, is that you?
Yeah.
Wow, this water must be getting to me. Yes, absolutely. Come in, please, please.
And then she's gonna, is the door unlocked now? Like,
No, it's locked.
All right, she'll use the key to unlock it.
There you go.
And she'll sit by is Siegryn still in a bathtub land? In her soup bowl?
Yeah, she does look a bit wrinklier at this point. The suds have decreased by half, though. Good news. No risk of mold to the ceiling.
Wonderful. She'll take a seat by the bathtub. You feeling okay?
I feel like a soup. And you look positively radiant, darling. I am jealous.
Yeah, I actually managed a good night's sleep for once.
I'm so very happy for you. I really am.
But you need to come and eat a proper meal.
Oh, I've eaten a couple of
fruit slices, and she reaches over. There's like a stool off to the side where she has like these fruit slices. She reaches over and immediately knocks over the entire thing and breaks the plate. God damn it all.
Those fruit slices are now renders.
Oh no, rend. Oh, fuck me.
How about this?
Mm.
You look like you need a fresh cup of coffee. Or some tea. You get out of the bathtub and get dressed, and I'm gonna have a plate of actual breakfast ready for you. Because a couple of fruit slices does not constitute a full meal.
Was this coming from Brynnhilder, the dietitian? She perks a brow a little. She's kind of grinning just a bit as she leans into the side of the tub.
No, it's coming from Brynnhilder, the monster hunter. Who knows? Come on. Come with me. We'll get you dressed. Get you some breakfast. You look like you need a little pick-me-up.
Well, I could do with a pick-me-up. And at that point, she'll, like, actually hold out her arms to you, head dangling back. She'll give her hands a little wiggle.
Siegryn's asking for uppies.
Yes!
Always.
Brynnhilder's just gonna sigh and scoop Siegryn up in her arms and like just gently place her on her bed. There you go.
Amazing.
Now get dressed and we'll get you waking up a little bit. And she'll go and start like basically draining out the bath.
Wait, isn't it just a wooden tub? Not.
Yeah. She's gonna go and start draining out the bath. Like grabbing like bucket and like
Okay, just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page.
Gilligan cut to the tub, breaking through the window and hitting the street
I'm
below.
gonna break the bath.
Oh,
That's what I want, servants.
Look out below.
The Witcher, SeaWorld.
That woman drives me absolutely crazy. Oh, and she gives me the strength I need. She hauls herself up and begins to make herself mildly modest and schleps herself down the hall out of her room.
Alrighty. And after a little bit of time, you all reconvene in the hall. Nienna has managed to come back to her mind, feeling a little bit more refreshed. A little, not a ton, but it was like a micro nap.
Barely at all. It's fine. I think when Siegryn shows up in the room, Nienna's eyes open and she just looks pained for a moment and then closes her eyes and, sits quietly.
Oof, I definitely overdid it on that bath. My fingers look like wrinkled sausages.
Irileth pushes a plate of sausages across. Yeah, look at that. All right.
She takes one and stuffs the whole thing into her mouth and just starts chewing.
All right, so in the case of the shitty dream demons, can confirm unpleasant.
Yes, I think so far we're very much demons 1, us 0 at the moment.
Did everybody have a nightmare?
Yes.
Kind of.
It showed me my father's face. I haven't seen it in 17 years.
Yeah. Mine too. Weird.
The last time I saw it, he was choking on his own blood. This thing decided to make sure I got to relive that. Thaddeus is gonna look at Brynnhilder. How do we fucking kill it again?
I mean, the two ways that are definite. I sit in a room with each and every single one of you individually and draw it out by creating a calming atmosphere and make sure that you are calm, guilt or greed free. And then when it eventually runs out of things to eat off of, I fight it and put it down. Or we pawn it off to somebody who feigns guilt. Doesn't actually have it, but passes off enough. It runs out of nourishment and dies on it. But I'll tell you, finding someone guilt-free, everybody's guilty of something.
Irileth raises a hand. Got a question. A question maybe only I would ask. What happens if the host dies?
Moves on to the next person, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What stops it from moving on? Like if we send it back to where it came from, if you stab it, does that kill it or does that send it away?
Kills it.
Oh, okay.
It can only be outsmarted or killed.
All right.
Well, I don't know about all you, but considering how badly last night absolutely fucking sucked,
Yeah.
I believe we are all in dire need of emergency Witcher therapy intervention.
I actually do have something I'd like to share with all of you. I have information on the source.
By all means.
My dream wasn't a nightmare. Mine was almost like a vision of where we can find the primary source of where they're coming from. I got confirmation that it is my childhood home. And the thing that it's fully connected to is what's called a godling. Powerful, fae, like preacher. Kind of assholes, but very harmless. They like to pull pranks.
Do I know what that is, Salt?
Give me a magical training roll.
Gosh darn it.
I'm gonna luck that. That was terrible. Jesus. Come on, Nienna. I know you had a rough night, but not. Come on. That's
Is that like
better.
a roll for basic education?
I would also allow a roll for education, yes.
Oh, well, no, not. I don't have anything in it.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Hey, can barely read, buddies.
Let's go.
Anyone who does have education can roll it if they like. But with a 19, you know that godlings are, as Nienna says, usually just more akin to tricksters. They don't really seem to seek out causing pain or anything. They like to just pull pranks. They're almost childlike, but they're not children. They're usually fairly reasonable, if maybe a little bit alien in their logic. And they can be protectors of towns if treated well and given tools and food and respect.
Why is a godling at the center of all this?
Could be because Fae, their emotions might be more powerful than typical elf or human or anything humanoid like us.
I see.
They're powerful. Very, very powerful. So it only makes sense that their emotions take hone over any. And she puts in parentheses, normal person.
All right.
But that thing is, the godling is in my home.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
I always suggest you get some rest because it seems like we're going on a road trip.
Yes, I've noticed.
How far? Looking at Brynnhilder.
That's a good question. How far is Brynnhilder's home?
Brynnhilder's old hometown, or home city, is a few days ride away. The trip could take a few days. It would be easier if you could teleport to it, but Nienna has never been there, so she would actually need to have been there first to teleport to it, to create a portal. Otherwise, you might end up at a wall.
All right. Prepare for the journey. Fenix, I have a job for you before we go, if you would follow me.
Absolutely.
I'm going to lead Fenix out and up into my old rooms in the keep, which are in the tower. They've been turned into my study and ritual spaces. So
Makes sense.
Nienna is going to go into one of the closets, which the door to this particular closet has been very I'm actually I think Fenix might have been part of helping to reinforce it. It's got multiple layers of wood of different hardnesses, and heavy iron bands to hold it all together, and really heavy duty hinges. Kind of hauls the door open, goes in and gets a very heavy lead box, pulls it out and sets it in front of you.
He just nods and opens it up.
Inside is a collection of pieces of demimaterium. I need you to fashion something small that I can put around my wrist and we'll be able to sleep with it on. If there's a risk that we can wake up not ourselves and try to kill each other, you don't want the person who can set things on fire with their mind to be the one who does that. So.
Right.
And I need you to do this without telling the others. You've
Sorry.
seen what I can do when I'm awake. Imagine what I could do when I'm not aware of where I am or who is around me. And the thing coming for me is something out of my nightmares.
Well, you're in luck. I've had a lot of experience working with it these past few months.
I suspected as much. There's not much that happens in the city I don't eventually hear about.
He knows I'm alive.
She does.
He was at the box. Gives you a quick nod. I'll get right to it, but just you should tell one of the two of them about this.
If I tell either of them, they'll try to stop both of us.
But if you don't tell either one of them, they'll both feel equally as betrayed, and that's an even bigger issue.
Sometimes betrayal is the better option than risking me blowing them up in my sleep.
I understand where you're coming from, but there's enough darkness around without us keeping stuff like this from each other. And of the two of them, only one of them is actually capable of stopping you should this not work. I'd go with that one, personally.
Believe it or not, with the way that I'm feeling, either of them could stop me.
I have more faith in you than that. I know how strong you are.
I'm not as strong as normal right now, Phoenix. Ever since whatever happened during that dream happened, I haven't
You
been...
know what I mean, Nienna. Honestly, I like my sister. I don't mean that one. It's like just downstairs. I know how strong you are. I have work to do.
You do.
You... he looks around your old quarters. Well, they don't know where we went, so this might be the perfect place to take a nap. I'll tell everyone else to get ready.
Thank you.
He'll just nod again and downstairs.
Nienna,
Yes.
are you going to try to take a nap here?
I think rather than a nap, Nienna is going to try to meditate, like properly meditate. But she's gonna settle into the middle of her ritual space on a cushion and reach into one of the pouches that she has on her belt at all times and pull out a familiar lock of hair. And just sort of run her fingers over and through it. Fight the urge to reach out to somebody who would be able to understand what nobody else here seems able to understand about how she's feeling, and then we'll sigh a little bit and tuck it away because she's not sure if it would infect him if she did reach out. And then she'll try to meditate.
Okay. Give me a roll of 1d10 plus your will.
Just a 1d10 plus 10.
Actually, let's go ahead and make it a resist coercion roll again.
Oh, God.
Hopefully it goes better than last time.
Am I at a negative because I'm so fucking exhausted?
I'll just say you're fine. because
Standard?
you-
Okay.
Yeah, standard.
20.
Hey, you have training and working to focus yourself to remove thoughts of other places and other times. Even as you were stroking the hair, you didn't see his usual kind face. You saw
the man whose hand was wreathed in flame and about to wrap around one of your friends. But that was before. You empty your mind and you just let yourself slip into meditation. And while you are not able to undo entirely what the Heim has done, you are able to get back up to half of your stamina.
So am I rolling up or rolling, or am I rounding up or down? Because it's an odd number. Okay. All right. Cool.
And for this trip, what preparations are everyone else making?
Good Sir GM.
Yes, sir.
May I make some master crafting rolls?
I would absolutely love you to do so.
At the forge, he's going to get Hattori's attention because I'm sure he's working right now.
Yes.
Master, could I have your assistance with something?
I'm not your master anymore, boy. But
yes,
yeah.
Master. Well, I'm not terrible at making jewelry. I was hoping you could help me with it because you have defter hands than I do. And this one's for family.
All right. For material, we're using silver, gold.
He opens the box.
Ah. Very well. You lead and I will assist.
I'll give him the tooth and nail special. Alright. Would that lower my crafting DC?
I would say it would, yes, by 5.
It's good. Yes. Rolling. Nice. I really need it. For the 20.
There you go.
Awesome. It is like a double wrapped bangle that's intertwined, and it interlocks with 2.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What are our Witcher, our Man-at-Arms, and our Merchant all doing to prepare for this trip?
Well, for Siegryn's part, I think she will go ahead and make a quick stop by a local cartographer to pick up a map for their route, going from where they are now to the nearest settlement where the house would be located, just so they have an easier time of traveling. And then she will go back and she's gonna find Nienna.
Alrighty. Before we get to that, where is there anything that Irileth is doing? Just to check.
Irileth is doing as much as he can. He lets the people who need to know, the heads of, like, he puts someone else in charge while he's gone. It's like, we're going to be gone for a little while. We need things to run smoothly. We'll be back in probably a week. You know what to do. Also, we're going to need 5 horses, supplies for a week, so probably 2 pack horses. We're going to need, let's say, a guide. I'll go talk to old Lord What's-His-Face, get some cash from the treasury to pay for inns and food and stuff. Basically, the full logistical preparations.
Alrighty. And Brynnhilder.
I think that Brynnhilder's gonna go into town and pick up some basics but in her small trip to gather up like rations and refill like her water skin and such, she is going to be looking for a loot.
All right. I'll say that given the bustling of the city, you're able to very easily find someone who makes various wooden instruments, lutes included.
Okay. She's gonna pick one up, and she's also going to grab various herbs and such stuff that she can like stuff that she can either like find around or can easily pick up from like an herbalist in order to start crafting potions and such that she's gonna need for this journey.
Alrighty. I will also say that you're able to pick up one recipe for if you want to have a recipe for another potion, oil, or even a bomb if you wanted.
Yeah.
You may choose one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to pick up a recipe for a potion. Just look through and see which one I can pick.
Okay, you can, if you want, you can get back to me with that choice between sessions.
Okay, and I think after that she's gonna take some time to allow. She's gonna take time to. And she will go to a bar that's not the usual brothel. Sit in the back and just reacquaint herself with the instrument.
Okay, go ahead and give me a roll.
Sorry, go ahead.
You go. Brynnhilder, go ahead and give me a roll for performance. And Irileth, what are you doing?
Just one last thing. Little probably won't come up, but if I find someone I fought with, someone I trust, I'm like, hey, maybe the girls at the Vargas can help you with this. We have a request just between you and me. There's flowers up in my suite, our suite, Nienna and I. Someone sent them with a poem. Figure out where they came from and who paid for them.
I will send word once we find out where these came from.
Thank you. That's it.
Alrighty. And then we will go ahead and move on to Siegryn after a brief aside to the tavern where the Witcher is playing a rather jaunty little tune. People are actually seeming to enjoy it, and it's raising the spirits of people within the city a little bit, since everyone in the city also feels this oppressive weather.
Yeah, anybody in the city who knows Brynnhilder never known her to before.
Yeah, so they think, so they're like, wait, is that Doppler? What? No? Huh?
Yeah, it's that kind of weird.
Yeah. And as they keep those thoughts themselves, we are going to shift back to Nienna, who is finishing up their meditation, and Siegryn.
I'm going to say that Nienna meets Siegryn at the door to her chambers. She's talking to one of the servants. She's going to send them out to... she's going to send them to talk to the keep's personal physician. To see if they can provide some sleeping draughts. Because sleeping wrapped in Dimitarium isn't going to be easy for her, so something that can knock her the fuck out would be good.
Fair enough. Yeah, they can.
She doesn't tell them why, she just tells them to go get it. So
They know better than to ask reasons. They don't get paid for tasks.
And then she looks at Siegryn, and there's that moment where her face is pained, but she'll step back and gesture her in. Come in.
Thank you.
And she'll waltz on in. She looks actually a bit more put together by now, and also less dwarven raisiny at this point. Now that she's had time to dry off.
The room that you step into is doesn't look like it was ever a bedchamber. It is there are floor-to-ceiling bookshelves filled with books and scrolls. There are potted plants all over the place of all different sorts, some that are easily and immediately recognizable and some that look far more exotic, and the whole room just kind of feels a little bit oppressive, like magic is used regularly in here. And it's got an interesting smell because of all the plants. Not bad, just earthy.
Bit stuffy in here.
That's not stuffy, it's the plants. But what can I do for you?
She'll hold up a mug to Nienna, give it a little slosh. Split some of the coffee that Brynnhilder made me earlier. Figured you could probably do with some of it.
Kind of smiles a little bit. Is that all that's in that mug?
Well, for yours at least, I snuck a little bit of nip of whiskey into mine. I could do the same for yours if you want.
No, just coffee is fine. She'll take it. Thank you.
Of course. I do apologize for not dropping by to really check in on you sooner, given my own state earlier this morning. I wasn't exactly in proper state of mind.
Nor was I, or I would have checked on you. Are you okay?
I'm fine, for lack of a better word, but I will admit, seeing the pogrom again in such horrid detail.
Nienna's face goes ghost white at that, and she drops the mug.
Oh,
sorry. Sorry.
Nienna,
Clumsy of me. She's like turning to grab like cloths and whatnot.
She will reach over and gingerly take Nienna's hand into her own and give it a reassuring squeeze.
What's on your mind?
Siegryn, you do know that in the time that we've known each other, I've grown quite fond of you. And were you ever in any danger, I would stand between you and whoever was coming for you, right?
And I hope you know that I would do the same, though I think I would probably be in less of a position to actually effectively block it, given my stature.
Just kind of nod. Yes. Thank you, I think. I'm fine. It's just been a long night.
Well, I want you to know that you can always talk to me whenever. And I'm here for you. And you will always have my ear to listen to your woes and my shoulder to cry on.
Thank you, Siegryn.
Of course.
Being so forgiving.
Forgiving? How so?
Didn't stop him. I didn't know. And I should have.
The realization dawns on her, and her other hand will kind of gently enclasp Nienna's, and she will give it another squeeze. I want you to understand. There is no way you could have known what he was up to, what he was doing. Even with all the magic at your disposal, there are always blind spots. I will never fault you for not having been there.
I think I should have killed him when I had the chance last year.
Well, I didn't want to admit this because I thought it was in poor taste, and I was a little guilty and frankly mortified by this. But I was very much tempted to do much the same myself, but when you were standing there beside me after everything that we had been through, after the end of it all, frankly, I was just happy that you and I were alive. That was enough for me. And to see him live with his shame. Oh. That's a fitting end more than most.
Nienna just nods a little bit. Sometimes I feel guilty that I didn't kill him. After everything he did to you and everyone else, I feel like I should have, but I couldn't bring myself to. Wasn't sure I had the strength after Odin.
You want to know what I think?
What?
I think it was strength that kept your hand from doing it in the first place. And that you really ought to give yourself more credit.
And I think Nienna just sort of sobs and drops to her knees so that she can hug Siegryn.
And she will wholeheartedly hug her, taking the back of her head and gently guiding it into the crook of her own neck. And she will gently lean her own head down on her.
And the dwarf gets to comfort a very, very messily crying, ugly crying elf.
So noted. As we leave them to their comfort, we move back to Fenix.
Yeah. He leaves the door to finish polishing up the bracelet, and would like to go visit the master of coin of the city.
You get to Lord Einar, who is busy working to make sure that things are squared away for this trip, that there is funds for you for traveling, and making sure that everything that was set in motion by Irileth being captain of the guard
gets funded, gets written off as being as decreed by Lady Nienna. Yes, Master Craftsman, how can I assist you?
Yes, there's Matt, I've meant to discuss with you for some time, but just truly hasn't been the time yet. It's a small matter of the plot of land that the Tooth and Nail is sitting on. I was hoping to discuss. Master Hattery obviously has owned the blacksmith for some time, a very long time. But he's never actually owned the land on top of it or the acreage surrounding it. I was hoping to discuss purchasing it.
Very well. Yes, absolutely.
And I would like the deed done up in his name to be given to him in the next few days, if possible.
I will see that it is done.
And he'll I guess we'll just he'll pull out the coin that he needs, and I guess it ends the scene with the two discussing pricing.
Indeed. And that is where we will end for this evening.